Assalamualaikum. So this video is for expectant moms, first-timers like myself who may have a great insurance team, medical team, and healthcare providers and access to the greatest books and articles online, but still found some things like really surprising to learn once they fell pregnant. So I just wanted to share the things that I found personally really surprising now that I'm expecting my child, alhamdulillah. The first thing I would mention is that hyperemesis gravidarum is a real thing. It's not something that was invented by like the royal family. I mentioned the royal family because most of us heard the term for the first time when it was announced that Princess Kate Middleton had experienced it with her first child, George, and also with her second. She's currently expecting. And it is real. It's terrible. It's like morning sickness, extreme morning sickness that lasts forever. And you're nauseous, and in a lot of cases, in my case, you have to be medicated in order to keep things down, including water. Before we figured out what was happening, I couldn't hold down water, so we knew it was something, you know, outside of the normal, just like morning sickness, pregnancy, and things like that. And it's something that lasts through the whole pregnancy. So it's not an invention of like the royal family. It is real, and you know, you just deal with it. The good thing about having it is women who experience hyperemesis generally tend to carry full term, and their babies, alhamdulillah, come out and they're healthy. So they have a less percentage of chance of miscarrying the women who experience hyperemesis. So next thing I found surprising was that you never quite get used to something crawling or moving underneath your skin. Like, it's just as surreal as it sounds. You can see it moving under your skin, and you can feel it, and it's not something that you easily get used to at all. And it's amazing. It's awesome. I just, you know, kind of look in awe some days when it's happening, and it's not something that you can describe until it happens to you. You never get used to it, like something's kicking you or crawling or rolling right now, actually, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. It's not something you get used to. Lots of changes happen in your body. The good news is it happens gradually. It's not like one day you wake up and you're like, wow, I'm big, I'm huge. I wasn't showing yesterday, or at least in my case it wasn't. There's all these gradual changes that are happening that you can notice every day, so that you don't feel overwhelmed and you feel like you're kind of growing with the child. As a first-time mother, you're experiencing these things and these little bumps, you know, as you should, as a process. It's gradual. So I didn't feel overwhelmed by a lot of things because Allah's design, it's very gradual. When you're pregnant, every experience is intensified. So you know, you have like this new wave of hormones in your body, and whether it's physical or emotional, I found that what I experienced was always heightened and increased. And I started to watch it and just observe it, so that I wouldn't get carried away or taken away by it, because I'm someone, I think, that, you know, generally has control of her emotions. So I just wanted to observe my emotions, and I realized that you know, for a couple moments there, if I'm not careful, like, I could really swing one way or swing another way. And it's because of all the differences that are going on in my body, the hormones and the chemical and all the science behind it. It's true. So every physical thing that you experience, a leg cramp, I got one and it was like, wow, it's the end of the world. Even though I feel I have a high threshold of pain, you know, up until now. So I realized, like, you know, it makes a difference in your mind and how you process things, because all of the chemicals that are crashing through your system now. So you just have to watch it and not let it overwhelm you. Alright, eating smaller meals. I eat a lot. I don't think I eat a lot more than I did before I was pregnant, but I eat more often, and I think that's key. I would recommend that. Like, you do get more hungry than you would naturally, because it's like every 2 to 3 hours I feel like I have to eat something or drink something really thick, and I feel like if I eat a meal and I eat until I'm full, I'll still be hungry again in like 3 hours. So the best thing to do is just eat until you're not hungry anymore, not full. There's a difference. Eat until you're not hungry anymore, and then when you're hungry again, eat again, but again until you're not hungry anymore. So it's like a fine line, but just like I said, you just have to watch it, because the worst thing I found is feeling full, physically full, but also feeling the pangs of hunger, like your body is missing something, a nutrient or nourishment or something like this. One of the things I noticed is that water is so important, and it eliminated so many of the symptoms that I was having that many people would just accredit to me, oh, you're pregnant, that's why. But when I started drinking water, more than 64 ounces a day, then I realized they went away. So no more leg cramps, no more like dry mouth, no more excess saliva or wet mouth. All of these things were like cured, no heartburn, nothing, like you have to drink water, but probably not through meals. So I know it's stressed that you stay hydrated, but what I would say is drink only water and like rarely anything else, and you should be okay, because that eliminated so many of my symptoms, just drinking all water basically, and maybe like, juice once a week or something, just whenever I crave it, where it's not something I need, but it's just like something I crave. The skin on the belly is sensitive. I know this is mentioned, but like using regular soap becomes like something you have to do cautiously. Like I got this new soap and I scratched myself accidentally in multiple places, because not because I was doing it extra hard or anything, but because the skin on my stomach is stretched out so much that it's really sensitive. It gets red, it gets tender, and now it's like very scratched up just due to soap wrapped in a loofah. And everywhere else in my body is fine, but specifically on my stomach, like, you just have to be careful, because I guess the membranes are thin there, and lo and behold, like, I have scratches from soap on my stomach. So be careful of that. Now this last one is something that Muslims know if they read the Quran, that Allah says His ruh is breathed into the fetus of the expectant mom, and like I always thought that was so interesting and amazing, and I wondered too, like, if there's a way to feel it or be aware of it, if you want to have a beautiful story to tell your child when it's born, like you kind of felt different a certain day or something like that. So as soon as I got pregnant, I decided I wanted to, if at all possible, to like pay attention to this and see if I felt different any sort of day, if I could like see, feel, if I could feel Allah's presence or anything like that. Like, I wonder when the soul of the baby will be put in, and if you notice it, like, it's something you could tell your child when they're born. So those are my tips, and those are the things that I found out while being pregnant, and you probably won't find them so much in a book necessarily, or maybe your health practitioner won't tell you, and it's just what I found that may be beneficial to you. I hope it is. Sorry for the lack of videos, and inshallah, I'll see you guys soon.